In our last video I talked about the importance of meditating to meditate. That meditation is a pure exercise in the development of our mental muscles that we most need involved in our ordinary everyday lives, to enable us, for starters, lead those ordinary everyday lives extraordinarily. But the more we develop those mental muscles, the more we develop our mindfulness. That mindfulness itself informs our goals, objectives, our vision for ourselves and for our future and for those that we love. Therefore, our goals become grander. We begin to understand that there is more to us than met our blinded eye, the eye that was blinded by our programming during our formative years. However, very often when I suggest to clients that they need to think bigger, so to speak, that they need to dream big dreams, very often I am met with a wall of resistance. I don't see myself achieving a grand goal. I'm not sure what kind of grand goal I might want to achieve. Some people will say to me, well, I don't want an awful lot different than what I have at the moment, but I certainly want it in a carefree fashion. And that leads me to the point where very often I will say to clients who are going through, for example, a particularly challenging time in their career or in business or indeed with their family, that the achievement of total serenity and calm as a result of having sorted that particular challenge out is in itself a grand goal. Very often, for example, in business, crisis management or firefighting increasingly seems to be the order of the day, and people often cannot see beyond the cut and thrust of the next short-term action that would lead to some short-term gain. They can't see the bigger picture. They can't see the wood for the trees, to use a well-worn expression. Seeing the wood for the trees, seeing the end of those kind of challenges, seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling and tasting the end of those challenges is, as I say, a grand objective, a grand goal. And if you could point your mind in the direction of it expecting that outcome, then you would make meeting those challenges, fighting those fires, managing those crises an awful lot easier, to the point of effortlessness. Now, unfortunately, very often when people are in the midst of fighting a fire and feeling the heat, they don't believe that at some point they could be cool, calm and collected. And that is why, if you're in the heat of battle, you need to pull back. You need to take a few deep breaths. You need to give yourself a little elbow room to ensure that you take the time to imagine, to visualize, to even daydream about what it will be like when this has passed. What it will be like when I have achieved. What it will be like not to have a care in the world and be drinking a glass of champagne or beer or lemonade, whatever tickles your fancy, to toast the fact that all is well. In reality, of course, even in the midst of a crisis, all is well.